What's going on, guys? Hope you're all having an amazing day. Today I just want to talk a little bit about Pokemon Champions and their brand new regulation, Reg M-B. As most players know, the new season began June 17th and featured a number of new Pokemon, items, and strategies. I want to share some teams that I theory crafted before the start of the new season, but first we have to discuss a small issue in the video before we get started. At the time of recording the first 5-ish minutes of this video, I had originally planned to release it before the new regulation had begun. But because we didn't, there are a couple spots in the video where we talk about things that don't exist or are out of date. I'll leave some timestamps right here just so you guys can be aware of what I'm talking about. But other than this, everything else in the video is current and up to date. That's all. In this video, we'll talk about 3 unique teams featuring the Hoenn starters because it's my personal favorite region and I'm super excited to see these guys be included in Pokemon Champions. Short disclaimer though, we're only going to be covering rough game plans for each team because I'm not a professional. So most of the conversation will include movesets, abilities, items, and basic tactics. We won't really talk about EVs much, but I'll share the details of each team when we finish talking about them, so you can see more specifically what I came up with. I think these teams have some real potential, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on them in the comments, as well as some Pokemon that you've been running during this new regulation. That's all I've got for now, so with all that being said, let's get right into it. Starting us off, we've got Mega Sceptile and Rotom Heat. Now I absolutely love Mega Sceptile and was planning to run this team before Champions even released until I found out he wasn't in the game. But now that we're getting some new mons, I want to share how I plan to use him because surely he gets included this time around, right? This extremely aggressive team takes advantage of Sceptile's ridiculous base 145 speed stat and ability Lightning Rod. Lightning Rod is an ability that gives the user an electric type immunity and raises its special attack by 1 stage every time it's hit by an electric type move. This sets up Rotom perfectly to just hold the Choice Scarf and spam Discharge since it hits everyone on the field including your own teammate. And I can already hear some of you in the comments. But Retro, why aren't you using Rotom Wash? Rotom Heat's fire typing actually covers a few more of Sceptile's bad matchups than Rotom Wash, and with moves like Electro Web and Volt Switch, Rotom stands as a solid support for the rest of the team. Before moving on, I want to go over Mega Sceptile's moveset because I made 2 variants. Both variants will include Dragon Pulse and Detect, but one uses Leaf Storm and Focus Blast to deal maximum damage, while the other carries Giga Drain and Leech Seed for sustain. I'm personally leaning towards the damage build since this is a hyper offensive team, but I wouldn't be opposed to using either one. We'll also be adding Mega Gyarados, since he rounds out our Water Fire Grass core and also carries Intimidate, which is always helpful. There isn't really much to say about him though, other than just being a typical Gyarados. We'll run what I'm pretty sure is the most common moveset and ability on him and just slap him right next to our Fire and Grass type. Next is a duo that'll provide some more physical damage and speed control, that duo being Garchomp and Aerodactyl. We won't talk much about Aerodactyl since their set is pretty cut and dry, but for our Garchomp, I want to give him Scale Shot as well as the loaded dice. I was really sad to see this item not be included in the first regulation, but I'd love to see it make a comeback this time around. We're also giving Garchomp Earthquake since he can't hurt most of the team with it, and spread damage is just nice to have. We're also going to run Rock Slide, hoping to get some flinches since our board will likely be moving first each turn after a Scale Shot or 2. If you've ever fought a speedy core that spams Rock Slide, then you know how annoying it can get when there's a 30% chance to flinch 2 times every turn. Oh, and we're going to give him Protect because, it's Protect. Our final slot on this team is going to Sneasler. Now Sneasler had crazy success this past regulation, and I don't think she's going anywhere anytime soon. She won't be doing anything out of the ordinary here, but I want to emphasize that Sneasler's primary role on this team is to assist my physical attackers with the move Coaching. I think the defense buff that Coaching provides will help keep Garchomp from getting too squishy after using Scale Shot, and the attack buff will turn him into a sweeper. Fake Out can also give Gyarados a free turn to set up Dragon Dance and begin sweeping as well. And that's pretty much it for this hyper offense team. Its main objective is to hit you fast, hit you hard, and maybe get some paralysis and flinching in on the way. No weather, no screens, just pure offense. Speaking of screens and weather, the focus of our next team is going to be Mega Swampert and Sableye. Thanks to Aaron Zhang, everyone knows how much of a nuisance Sableye can be. Ours will be no different. We'll be using double screens and Rain Dance to set up our Mega Swampert's ability Swift Swim, which, as it implies, doubles our speed in the rain. His last move was honestly a hard choice because Sableye has such a versatile moveset. I couldn't decide whether to go with Disable or Encore, so we're just going to place both of them here and you guys can decide which is more practical. I also thought about giving him Quash, but with double speed in the rain and a handy Tailwind setter in the back, I saw no reason to use it. Our Mega Swampert is going to be the star of our show, boasting a gnarly 150 base attack, as well as 110 in both defense and special defense, and base 100 health. I have no doubt in my mind that Mega Swampert is going to be a premier target for rain teams in the future. For his moveset, I went with something pretty straightforward. We're giving him Liquidation, Earthquake, Protect, and High Horsepower. I'm sure there's a better alternative for one of the two ground moves we have, but you'll see later that having Earthquake can be dangerous for some of the other guys on this team. I just think having spread damage is worth more than adding a coverage move. Our next tag team needs no introduction or explanation, to be honest. This just wouldn't be a rain team without the goats Pelipper and Arcaludon. Some of you probably guessed that Arcaludon would make an appearance here, but I'm also bringing Pelly just to make sure that we control the weather. I know I said we wouldn't talk about EVs, but just know that our Arcaludon is going to focus on tanking hits and building up his special attack with Charge Shot. Other than that, this is pretty much the same duo you see on every other rain team. To finish off this team, we're using another powerful duo, Maushold and Annihilate. If you remember this duo from Scarlet and Violet, then you're already familiar with this core and what it's capable of. I plan to use Annihilate similarly to our Sneasler from the last team and set up Swampert with coaching. The only difference is that he has the option of Maushold setting up his Rage Fist by attacking him with Beat Up and minimizing any damage he takes with its ability Friend Guard. We'll give him Drain Punch and a Citrus Berry to keep him alive as long as possible, and Protect to finish his set. You're probably already familiar with Maushold's moveset, but in case you aren't, we're going to give him Super Fang for solid damage, Follow Me for some redirection, and Encore just to be annoying. For their item, we'll be giving him a Chople Berry, just to let him survive at least one fighting type attack so that maybe they can get off another supporting move. Of the three teams we're making today, I think this one will be the most commonly seen on the ranked ladder. It's no surprise that rain teams are still abundant since they were super strong during Regulation MA, and I'm sure others have already put similar teams together. It's got insane potential in the right hands, and I'm looking forward to testing it out in competitive play. Before we talk about Blaziken's team, I have to quickly tell you guys how hard it was to put together. First, let me preface that this is the only team of the three that I made after actually playing the new regulation, so I wanted it to be as efficient as possible before sharing with you guys. I had to have gone through at least 4 different variations of this team before finally finding a squad that I think can hold its own against the current meta. This team operates a manual sun setup and 2 styles of speed control, making it a little more complicated to pilot than our other teams, but rewards adaptability and good intuition. We'll start with our ace Mega Blaziken, highlighting a monstrous 160 attack stat and ability speed boost. The main reason I struggled to put pieces around Blaziken was because of how many options I had to set him up. Before deciding to use its Mega Evolution, I tried giving him a Focus Sash and using Sword Stance to sweep. I also tried using Swagger from partners like Grimmsnarl and a Lumberry, and I even tried using him as coaching support for other aces like Mega Metagross, but nothing seemed to stick. Not until I had the bright idea of actually utilizing his Megaform's raw damage output. We kept his moveset super simple and gave him Flare Blitz, Close Combat, Detect, and Rock Slide for a certain popular flying type. Though seemingly simple, Mega Blaziken poses a threat to majority of the meta, and given the right support, has an answer for a lot of top picks. Blaziken's immediate helpers will be our Sunsetter, Whimsicott, and Hisuian Typhlosion. I typically see Typhlosion run with a Choice Scarf and automatic Sunsetter like Torkoal, but on this team, we're opting for extra damage from a Life Orb with both manual speed and weather control from Whimsicott. Its ability Frisk is also really handy because it reveals what items my opponents are holding, making him a solid lead. Against most matchups, the first turn usually goes one of 2 ways. Typhlosion can stall one turn with Protect while Whimsicott sets up Tailwind, then Sunny Day the turn after since it's holding a Focus Sash. Or, if Typhlosion already outspeeds its opponent, Whimsicott can use Sunny Day on turn 1 and Typhlosion can use a max power Eruption to deal insane amounts of damage to the enemy team. This duo allows Blaziken to deal extra damage in the sun, covers his weakness to Psychic types, and gives the team more than one way to control the battlefield. However, a common weakness this core faces is Fake Out, since our Whimsicott doesn't run Protect. And though Typhlosion's Ghost typing prevents him from getting faked out, he loses all of his support if the opponent decides to just gang up on Whimsicott. To combat this, we'll add our second speed controller, Farigiraf, whose ability Armor Tail prevents all priority moves from hitting my team. Farigiraf will double as both a priority counter as well as a Trick Room counter, in any case where our opponent decides to use either method of speed control. We're going to also throw Sylveon right next to Farigiraf since she's slow enough to dominate inside a Trick Room. A neat thing about this Sylveon though is that she has just enough speed EVs to outspeed a max speed Garchomp in a Tailwind, or naturally outspeed them in a Trick Room. Garchomp poses a huge threat to my Sun Dwellers, so I made sure to have an effective countermeasure regardless of what mode I'm running in the current battle. Before moving on, I want to talk about the rest of Farigiraf's moveset since it does just a little bit more than set up Trick Room. Its attacking moves are Twin Beam to specifically handle Focus Sash holding Sneaslers, and Thunderbolt to scare away popular wide guard users like Pelipper and Aerodactyl. This team carries a decent amount of spread damage and can be vulnerable to wide guard, so I think Thunderbolt will be plenty for keeping that in check. Its last move is Helping Hand, simply to boost any damage that my team can put out. The final Pokemon on this team is Basculegion. This Pokemon is actually the reason I decided to use a manual Sun team instead of a Drought user. I didn't do anything extraordinary with him, but Basculegion is just such a strong Pokemon and I didn't want to hinder it by weakening his water moves in a harsh sunlight that I can't control. He also kinda fits the 2 modes agenda that I'm pushing, since his speed stat isn't really great without some sort of support. Basculegion doesn't have any specific purpose on this team, I just want another strong physical option, and Basculegion is just that. And that's it for my 3 Hoenn teams. Now that we're 2 seasons into the new regulation, I'm sure most players are aware of how good these Pokemon can be, especially Swampert and Sceptile. I just wanted to share how I'd personally run them and hopefully give some spotlight to Blaziken, since I don't see him running around as much as the other 2 starters. I spent a lot of time making sure the teams didn't have any overlapping Pokemon, but I wouldn't be shocked if you thought some guys could do better on a different team. Let me know which team you guys think is best or how you would change any of them in the comments. I might make a video highlighting the Blaziken team since it's my personal favorite of the 3 and it's already helped me climb to Master Ball 2. As always, thanks for watching, like and sub if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys soon.